What'd you say about your bush?
Anheuser-Busch.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Bro, that's funny.
My God.
Because there's 3 of us.
And we're the 3 best friends that anybody could have.
This is going to be one of those episodes, isn't it?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. Hey, fam. Welcome back to yet another episode of
I'm telling you.
No.
No.
I'm just, no.
Just trying something different.
You've done that one before. Come on. Let's get...
A little different twist.
Because you didn't sell it as much this time? Yeah, that I would buy.
Whoa.
Wow. Yeah, I said it.
Starting off on the good foot.
No, it's you. Well, you do the bad thing on the good foot, or you do the good thing on the bad foot. I mean, how many feet do you have that you can good or bad or in between or?
I hate you.
I'm Philly D.
Mr. Gemini.
A goody clack of fact checker, Miss JD.
Yeah, and in case this is your first time checking us out, doing our thing, this is kind of what we do. Sometimes we drink beers. Most of the time, we just talk trash on each other. We're respectful. It's only, us.
I mean, that's not all we do.
No, I said sometimes.
Sometimes we have story time.
The story time? Well, that is true. We do tell some stories here.
Or sometimes we'll play, hey, look this up.
We play other games too. Just saying.
A little game called Just a Tip. Just for a second, just to see how it feels.
I mean, what we do on our own time is really our business.
Or, ouch, ouch, you're on my hair.
Unless we're filming it.
I was going to say, unless there's a camera involved. That's get
Just
out of my
remember,
head.
Then it's kind of everyone's business.
It's not cheating if you're the little spoon.
I prefer to be the little spoon, honestly. Might be just for that fact. I don't know. It's also very enjoyable. Get some nice cupping usually. I like being cupped as well.
It's not cheating if you're the little spoon.
Well, it's not.
Where did this come from?
I think it was from her.
No, I mean originally. Originally, was it?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it came from the mind of Miss JD right there. Pretty sure.
Actually, I think it came from the 2 of you.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure you brought it up to us.
A t-shirt.
Well, that's where it did originate from.
Well, it needs to be one made by us.
Well, because it also goes to like one of our t-shirts
for us.
Because you're talking about little spoon, and of course, if you have tea, you would be using a little spoon to, either your honey or your sugar or your cream or that's what made it a t-shirt. Yeah. Just saying, this is pretty sure this was like 2 years ago conversation.
Yeah.
We're now bringing up old shit.
It's not old.
It's not old.
It's young still.
I mean, that idea is...
It actually hasn't been brought to life yet, so...
No shit.
Let's say it's still unbirthed.
That's so gross. Yeah, but I mean, like, think about this. How long have we been talking about doing It's Puppets, bro? Like a little over 2 years now.
It will happen.
Oh, I know.
When it's
same as the t-shirt.
When it's ready.
Yeah. After it's gestated, incubated, hibernated, something nated. I'm out of natids. I got no more natids. Sorry. I don't.
The hyperinflation of the elevation with the triangulation of all the manipulation.
Dude, all so far is true. This is true.
Brought on by the adversary of truth.
Okay, that last part lost me. It didn't.
That's a tie-in. You gotta, don't even worry about that.
Like, bro, if you have to ask, I can't. It's not for me to, just gonna tell you that now. Sorry about that.
Say what the joke means, then.
If you have to explain the joke, it's not funny. I mean, sometimes though. Sometimes. I mean, because usually I get a second laugh for myself, though. It's obviously it was funny. I said the joke.
And then you get the again.
I mean, that's to me, it's
just
the again.
For the fact that you're looking at it and reviewing it.
Pretty much. Yeah.
And you're like,
yep, still funny. Yeah,
and now it's double funny because you still don't get it.
I mean, yeah.
Sometimes that happens.
Unfortunately, yes, quite often, honestly. I'm probably really not that funny. I just happen to think I am that funny. So, you know, ipso facto, I am funny.
That's not narcissistic, right?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Who am I? I
We don't
don't.
need to label stuff here.
We don't need to talk about who did what.
Not inflate this with a whole bunch of riffraff and
We are the
say
riffraff.
stuff
Let's
we
be
don't
honest.
mean. Do we say stuff we don't mean?
Ooh, I don't think so. I'm gonna have to go with a hard pass.
I mean, maybe people don't know what we mean when we say stuff.
I can agree to that.
That's possible too, because I don't
half
realize,
the time we don't even know what we mean. When we
you
say
don't
stuff.
realize that you speak your own language, and it sure ain't English.
We do not speak English.
No,
No, I speak like intelligent Spanglish. I mean, I got a nice vocabulary. I mean, like, but I do slip in some Sabiskes and, you know what I mean? It's gonna happen.
Ebonics.
Do you remember when that shit was like a thing? Think about that. Like, we got told way back when, it's like, oh, that's Ebonics. That's ghetto speak. What? You shitting me?
I mean, because if I have to ask you one more time,
This, dude, I know plenty of white cats to be saying that kind of shit. So it's like, you can't be like, that's just the thing, man. And a library. What the is a library?
a library,
Yeah, it's a library.
It's
There's
a-
double R's in that motherfucker.
it's a delicious berry.
It's a delicious berry. It's the
But when
cousin of the
But
linden.
when you eat it, it makes you tell untruths.
Well, I mean, I feel like you're saying some shit about an actual library right now. Like that was
It's
like
it's a library.
it's a
Like when you eat it,
I see what you
it
I see what
makes
you
you
did
tell an
there.
untruth.
See what you did there. That's
A thing that's not true.
see, I went somewhere else and then you were
I told an untruth.
I told an untruth. Well, that will happen. 66 times in the head. You don't know.
Can't. It's never happened before.
That was an untruth. Gonna call you out on that one, buddy. That's what I'm here for, though. You know what I mean?
Where are we?
What day is it?
Update.
Mike. Guess what day it is?
Come on. Update. What?
I mean, that camel was kind of funny. I'll be honest.
I mean, 5 or 100 times. After that, not anymore.
I mean, it's on the same level as Fandango. You know, you got a wild Fandango loose in the
Now
theater.
It's almost in that territory of what's up?
Dude, What's Up will never die.
Or is that now retro?
That will never die. Never die.
You remember the frogs?
With the Budweiser frogs?
Yes.
Is she like, yes?
That still goes through my head.
Bud.
Oh, God, please.
Why?
Why, God?
Because there's 3 of us.
And we're the 3 best friends that anybody could have.
No. There's never 3 of us when it comes to, no. I will never
Party pooper.
Budweiser or any of you. Might or aw, but
Yeah, that's true. I can't
It'd be
do- I can't
ironic
do
if
that
I was
anymore.
the There's no R's in my language.
you would never be able to pronounce it. You just be like, hey.
But what?
Anheuser-Busch.
What'd you say about your bush?
Anheuser-Busch.
Eisenhower had a bush? What the hell's wrong with you?
Bro, that's funny.
This is going to be one of those episodes, isn't it? We haven't even really, like, these are our first drinks. Like, we have not been drinking. Typically, this is indicative of a very wild green room.
Freak out now and then.
I don't have a briefcase, so I can't freak out.
Freak out.
Who's coming with me?
That's all I want to know.
Do you want to be my girlfriend? I'm a lesbian. Cool. Can I watch? No. Hard pass.
No, go.
No window love. I heard something about empty pipes. That's code.
I love the thing about describing all the different types of people that smoke. But there's like,
Oh, right.
the son who's trying to expand his mind so he can understand his parents somehow, and his father's in the other room doing the same thing, trying to understand his own son. And he deals to both of those people.
Yeah, something to that degree. More, it was, I believe it was worded as the father is trying to find a way to connect with his son, and his son is smoking to basically forget the fact that he's not connecting with his dad. So his dad's smoking, no wondering how he can connect with his son. It's just like, well, isn't that ironic? Yeah.
They should almost just
The
be in the
vicious
same room, but
cycle.
that would be wrong. I don't know.
Man, see, this is where we kind of like,
it is wrong, I guess. I don't know.
so like, this is how I look at it.
At what age?
Well, so this is how I look at it is psychology, science would say that the majority of your development and growth mentally, your physiology, like your whole makeup is 18s into your mid 20s for certain things. So to me, it's like, yeah, man, once you're like 18, once you're like an adult, you've pretty much already developed as much or as well as you're going to. At this point, you're probably not going to really do damage to yourself unless you go on like mad benders over and over again. But that's anybody. Doesn't really matter the age. But I feel like if you're going to, at least wait until you're of your own, accountability, basically. Like, you got to be watching your own shit, because then you're probably likely to make smarter choices if you think about it. Because if it's like, if I fuck up, it's all me, then you're less likely to just go wilding out, man.
Not to be weird about this, but like,
It's all right. Good.
I don't know how to properly Native American or Native American
Indigenous tribes, people of the Americas.
Yes.
It's not that hard to say.
It's not that hard, David.
They would have a rite of passage at age 13. And sometimes that would involve, peyote or,
But see, that's in a completely medicinal rite of passage. It's not a drug. It's something of this earth. So that's slightly different. I'm talking
And
about
that's like an occasional thing, not like an everyday, like I'm bored type of thing.
Yeah, I'm speaking more of like in a recreational capacity in that sense. Like rite of passage is completely different, because then you're also getting into set and setting. There's a celebration behind the exploration of your spirituality and oneness with all that is around you. So I mean, that in and of itself has, a different connotation totally.
Sounds like you're talking about fungus.
When you said that.
So wait, say that again?
Sorry. Something she just thought of when
you just said that, it made me think. So around that age is when puberty hits, right?
More or less.
Like for the second time around. So around 16 is when it kind of finishes.
per girl,
but-
maybe.
You're releasing a whole bunch of a horny teenager on drugs into the wild.
Well, I mean,
It's probably the
That's
best
how they-
place for them.
that's how they've done it for years, and it seems to have worked okay. I mean, we were left to our own devices as kids. You don't see that happening much anymore.
Too many weirdos out there.
Can't get away with this shit we got away with.
That's what I hear, and to some extent, I agree with that. But to some extent, like, you kind of need a little hardening. Like, I think back on it, and I kind of understand why my mom was always worried about me when I didn't call her right away every hour or whatever.
Every hour?
But no, it was never that bad. But
Dude, I mean,
that's
I
what you-
tried to shove as many possible experiences in front of my kid, to the point where it almost became mundane of having a multitude of choices, where it's like, yeah, I know I can choose stuff. Great. I'm going to go do this anyways. It's like, cool, go find out yourself, because I feel like, especially in America, you can see this. in contrast to Europe is in Europe, people teach their kids how to appropriately be accountable for alcohol consumption. If you go getting like all wild out and like partying and drunk and like throwing up and stuff, you're frowned upon, and so is your family. You know, here in America, it's just like, no, you have to wait till you're 21. Even though at 18, you can, you know, go to war for your country and vote, but you can't buy alcohol and now at this point, I think tobacco as well. I think they upped it to 21 as well.
But if you
Everything's 21 now, yeah.
But now you get those kids that when they finally go to college and they're away from their parents, you start getting all that crazy like consumption of drugs and alcohol and this, that, and the other. That
Alcohol poisoning, everything.
oh,
yeah.
dude, it's insane. But you don't hear about that kind of shit in Europe, as well as you look at alcoholism rates in comparison of Europe to here. Much, much different. It is drastically
They view it
different.
totally different, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like
And I'm pretty sure Europe didn't have prohibition.
because they're not stupid like us. But that's my thing is like
you
when
can actually
you
drink and drive home in other countries.
well, you don't really drive.
Like you can have a beer
in-
while you're driving.
Well, here's the thing. It's like being a monk. You're allowed to drink, but you're not allowed to be intoxicated.
Right.
So it's like, obviously, if I catch you and I do a field sobriety test and you've been fucking up, then, you know, you're still going to get your comeuppance. But if you're just driving home after having 2 beers with a sandwich at the bar, like, I don't care.
Mhm.
Finish your beer in the car. I don't care. Whatever. But
The good old days.
man up or woman up, whatever the case may be.
Person up,
Like handle your shit.
big
You don't-
people pants time.
If you know you don't feel right, don't get behind the wheel. But people don't know how to draw that line, so they have to draw it for us. You know what I mean? Everybody knows their own personal limit.
You should. And I feel as though, I mean, beyond having the capacity, we actually do. It's just whether or not we're willing to admit to it.
I feel like the sheltered kids are the ones who don't know their limits.
Yeah, no shit. That's what I'm saying. You should really give as many opportunities. Not saying that you should actually have the experience, but you should at least have the opportunity for it. Because then otherwise, yeah, you're just, when you finally do have all those choices, you go on overload and you're just like, oh my God, you just do everything. Just be getting all that shit.
Hmm. But it's also how you introduce things too. Like if you introduce something as like off limits, it now has like this golden allure to it.
Yeah.
If you introduce it as like, oh, hey, this is what it is. This is what it does. Like, here you go. Like, they're like, oh,
Yeah, help
awesome.
yourself to anything in the house. Just don't go in the West Wing. Simple. You know, but that's what you want to check out. Yes,
how
that was a
that
Beauty and the
worked out.
Beast reference.
Oh, I thought that was like
But yeah,
Batman, but all right.
I got it.
could be. I wasn't there. You son of a. All right, moving on. Good stuff.
So global warming,
Not that again.
dude. Oh, I mean, we do need to get Zach back in. He is he's slated to come back in, but I'm looking to get us slight equipment upgrade. Because we are growing. With you at home, we appreciate you for that. You've been keeping us on board enough that it's like we want to keep getting better and better, giving you all better content. Which please hit the comments, tell us what's up, throw that shit down in there.
Check out these books.
Check out these books. I don't check out those books. I mean, actually, some of those books
Well,
are
you
really.
probably should check out some of these books.
I mean,
There's some
honestly,
really
those are
interesting stuff in here.
There is, yeah. I would say, like, I was like, though, that's more of my.
There's some that I might want to borrow one day.
Yeah, that's my more. I would say prominently read collection. I mean, I have Ellers in spots, but those are the ones that I've probably read a few times. Or have great memory towards because it was something like maybe my kid and I read together or something, or so. Yeah, some really good books in there, man.
So
It really
The
is.
nostalgic case.
I know it's just because it's a book that you bought after somebody had already used it, but it says human sexuality, and right across it says used.
Well, I mean, Well, yeah, because I mean, so when I took my psychology part of my education, we've talked about this before. Is I delved relatively deep into my specificity in it is abnormal behavioral developmental. Yeah, all that really weird outlier stuff, but nature nurture kind of dichotomy, because it really tries to explain both sides of that sense, where it's like your DNA says it should be, but your upbringing says it should be, and sometimes they contradict or complement, and you still get different outcomes. I think that's probably one of my greatest things that I enjoy about psychology is no matter how predictable it is, you still never know.
I remember taking that class, like my psych class about the nurture versus nature. It was like junior year of high school. But I remember it so vividly because that was one of the topics that got me interested in psychology as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, I felt I saw...
On top of serial killers.
Of course.
I mean,
yeah, look at her, people. Come on.
I mean...
But yeah, no, I found very much with the abnormal cases, so like the extreme outliers, those not just unique cases, but like extremely rare cases.
Serial killers?
No, dude, honestly, serial killers is quite common. At least
that's kind of sad.
Well, no, so the more or less the psychological makeup as to what allows that for to happen more or less is quite common. Like a lot of us have
what you'd think like psychotic. It's actually
right now.
It's actually sociopath, right?
Well,
I thought that was really where most of those
level.
But so this is the thing is if you look at the definition of what a sociopath is to the nth degree, like to be an exacting, I'm a sociopath. It more or less states that you go against what is considered the norms and you don't give a shit. You're just like, nah, I'm gonna fucking do it anyways.
When everybody else yawns around you, do you yawn?
Not usually. Sometimes,
if I don't, I have to fight it.
If you don't yawn when other people yawn, do you know what that means?
I'm not tired.
You're a sociopath.
I already told you that.
Well, this is confirmation that sometimes you are.
Wait, what other symptoms?
This is the people we are not.
That's like a tail sign because a yawn is an empathetic response. It's actually a vagus nerve release sign.
Everything's vagus nerve.
But if you yawn, it's an empathetic. When somebody else next to you yawns, it's their empathetic response to your lack of oxygen going to your brain. And it literally goes around, and it's because of it's an empathetic response. So they say if you're in a room and everybody's yawning and one person's not, that one person, I would look into them because it might be a sociopath.
We have to run tests now. We have to try this. We'll get together as a group and go out somewhere and like surround somebody or get on the elevator with them.
I would say like started like the wave, but like, just one person yawns.
I think you're too caring and empathetic to be a sociopath though.
Well, I mean, but and that's the thing is, this is the, my personal ironic dichotomy is I absolutely give a shit about everything, but at the same time, I don't care because I can't. Because if I did, I'd be so wrapped up in all that shit that it's like, I'd never get any rest.
What do you mean by care though?
So put it this way.
Too much energy into it?
Well, no, like when I wake up in the morning, I'm going to dress however I want. I don't give a shit what anybody else says. I don't care. But I'm also not going to dress in a fashion where I'm going to go out and be disrespectful to everybody else to have them look at me in a negative light, because it's just like, oh, and it's like, I'm not trying to create that energy. So I'm not going to dress to look snazzy unless it's like, the actual occasion, because, sometimes you do.
Sometimes it's nice. You want to wear a suit.
Dude, I mean, I do look good in a nice tailored John. Just saying.
Everybody looks better in a suit, man.
Not everybody.
Yes, everybody.
No.
Yes.
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 No. 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 I am Groot.
An argument isn't just the gainsay of whatever the other person says. Yes, it is. No, it isn't.
But yeah, so I totally care, but at the same time, I don't give a shit because I can't.
I could be arguing in my spare time.
Well, it's like the 4 agreements. Don't take anything personal. To me, any and all of that would be me taking it personal. I can't give a shit what you think. Doesn't mean I don't care what you think. I just don't give a shit. But I also am aware of this, and I'm okay with it. Because at the same time, if you're going to sit there and all of a sudden like blah, blah, blah about some shit, I'm going to be like, all right, cool. I got to bounce. You know, where I should probably be like, you know, I appreciate you trying to speak your piece, and I thank you very much for sharing with me. But I'm like, I don't have time for your noise right now. I'm out.
So I want to go back to this fear thing, though. Honestly.
So global warming.
No, because I keep thinking about it, but like, how many things do we do throughout the day that when it all boils down to it, we may be doing it on some level because of fear?
We're afraid of some form of an outcome or...
Right, an avoidance of some kind of behavior or commingling with somebody that you consider...
I would say quite often, you know, like, if not always.
Very.
99.99.
And like, there's a healthy fear, and then there's... So how do you differentiate? And like, but I'm saying if there was a way to just remove like the fear that keeps you from doing things that will actually benefit you.
Okay, I got it.
Dime.
Cognitive. No, seriously. It's a cognitive behavioral therapy tool. So when you think about things and you're like, okay, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to get this done, I have to get that done.
No, I want
so you're
to.
thinking about the haves. Why do you have to get this done? What's the real reason behind having to get it done? Is it a have or is it a want? Is it a necessity or a want? Like, those are your two. So when you think about it in that way, a lot of people don't think about things like this, but it could be, okay, well, I have to be on time. I have to be 15 minutes early for work. Do you have to be early for 15 minutes? Do you want to be early? And then people will be like, well, no, if I'm not 15 minutes early, then I'm going to get yelled at. So I don't want to get yelled at. So instead of getting yelled at, I have to be there 15 minutes early.
Well, yeah. So I don't want to get yelled at, so I have to be here 15 minutes early.
And
that's the difference between a want and a need.
You're avoiding doing something, or you're intentionally doing something to avoid a fear of something else.
Right.
Yeah, that's where I agree with you, man. And it's probably like 99.99% of the choices we make is because we're hoping to not have a certain outcome as opposed to wanting a certain outcome. Which is, I mean, that's why I'm always like, you talk about like the TV says this or the news say that, and it's like, and I'm like, I don't live in that world. Yeah, because this is my mentality is I want these things. Well, if I want these, I need to do certain things, and I'm of that understanding. But also when it's like you need to do this, it's like I get to do this. That this is the same as like paying bills. Like, most people are like, oh, I have to pay my bills. Fuck no. I get to pay my bills. Every month I get to pay my bills. That is dope as shit.
What would I do with the money if it wasn't for paying my bills?
That's great.
I can't eat money.
Don't worry about what you can't do with it or can do with it. You earn that money and you're paying those damn bills.
Or learn how to build a house and go off the grid.
Great job at it.
But you get to do that.
You can do that too.
That's your choice.
You know what?
Get a bunch of Bitcoin.
That is a gratitude moment.
Have an online store.
People don't think about it.
And live on a farm.
Can't pay their bills.
Right? That's what I'm saying. But instead of having that mentality of I can't pay my bills or I have to pay my bills, I get to pay my bills. Which means one, I'm baller enough that it's like, yeah, I can pay them. But two, I get to choose which bills I have. And then I'm like, yeah, of course I'm going to fucking pay that.
I'd like to
cool with that.
To just not have a cell phone anymore.
Bro.
That is a very important word for people to think about, though. Choose.
Well, that's not
people
a choice.
People don't think that they have choices in things.
You always have a choice.
In actuality, you absolutely have a choice in absolutely everything you do.
You got 3 choices in everything you do. Not a joke.
Wait, isn't a cell phone now considered like a necessity?
I mean, if you need a calculator, phone, camera, social media, memo pad.
You can keep all those things
it's actually provided
that are non-smartphones.
If you don't make enough money to support your family, you can still get a phone for absolutely free. Because it's-
Yeah, they do
cellular.
view it as a
necessity.
necessity.
Well, yeah, as cellular and like text. So for phone calls and messaging.
Right. So free phone.
I think it's more so
Yeah.
emergencies. If
Well,
an
right.
emergency
Yeah, you're not
happens,
getting,
you're
like-
equipped to
How
call
come we all don't
Necessarily
get a free
like
phone?
Wi-Fi shit. You know what I mean? It's
Why
just
are we?
a.
Why are we?
It's just a phone.
Why are we chained to these phones? And every time they come out with a new one, like we have to get a new one. We have to upgrade because the software isn't compatible with the older phones. And
You're buying the wrong phones.
you know, my Nokia that I had back in the day would probably still work to this day.
Do you know, ironically enough, we had a whole bag of old cell phones dating back, oh geez, to like my second cell phone.
Oh, jeez.
They're all still
And
down 911.
I can still turn some of. We went to go like, we brought them back so they can get recycled properly because they all have batteries. Da, da, da. So we wanted to make sure they were disposed of properly. And so when we brought them in, the joke was, let's see which ones turn on and which ones don't. And out of probably 10 old cell phones, 3 or 4 of them still turned on. And they were the oldest ones in the box. Like I'm talking the sidekick that like slid up, still
remember
turned
that.
on.
Nice.
And been charged in years, but it's still turned on.
Didn't last very long, I'm sure. Plug it in at some
We
point.
didn't really play with it that long. It was just kind of like, oh crap, it's still okay.
I love how we went from abnormal psychology of
That's
serial killers to
Totally
phones.
what happens, though.
All in the matter of like 6 minutes, by the way. Quite
6
impressive.
minutes. A lot can happen in 6 minutes.
Apparently, 7 different conversations. That's what we do here.
17.
Well, I mean, by the end, halfway,
77.
Why does it have to
probably.
be an end? There's an end.
There's never an end.
This is the end. My only friend. The end. Sound of silence.
It's delicious.
The beer or the silence?
Yes.
Doesn't make for good radio.
No, not usually. But yeah, that's where you got to like paint the word picture, which, I mean, think about it. We were pretty dope at painting the word picture. You know what I mean? Now we are the picture.
That we're gonna be the puppet soon, though.
We are the puppets, bro.
We are the puppets, bro.
Puppet.
I mean, that one too, but still.
I can see that it's puppets. What are you watching? Played out. We got to do that shit. It's
Well,
not
I mean-
old. It's new. It hasn't even been born yet. It's less than new.
I mean, I still like the idea of doing the puppets for Saturday morning cartoon kind of shit, man. You know what I mean? Give people a
Grandma's-
reason to want to get up early on a Saturday.
Grandma's crib.
Grandma's basement.
Grandma's crib.
Dude, you would nobody calls it grandma's crib.
Grandma's basement.
I mean, sometimes.
Growing up, bro.
I mean, so West Coast, we didn't have basements. You know what I mean? And I didn't go to my grandma's house because if I did, then I'd have to watch what my cousins were watching, and they were assholes, and they had shitty taste in TV too.
Couldn't just go on your cell phone and look up anything you want and watch it immediately.
Are we back on this shit again?
You had to always.
It's fucking
Like,
guy.
we had to work for stuff. You know what I mean?
We had to wait
We had
for
video game
internet
systems-
connection.
We had video game systems. No pause button.
There was
There was no pause button.
no.
You know what the pause button was? Mom comes in and she flips the switch that the thing is plugged into. And you go, no.
Yeah.
Like, Mom, that was 2 weeks worth of work. Gone. I'll never see that 2 weeks again. Parents just don't understand.
Well, they didn't grow up like us.
And this new generation is definitely not growing up like us.
Which is why we don't understand.
Right.
Think about it. We're the first generation. I know I'm grouping me with you, but we were in this generation where we saw the first handheld video game come out. We saw handheld portable phones, pagers, computers. Just think about how far we've come
Technologically.
wise. Yes. I would have to pick it up with my accent though. But think about how far we've come since like the 80s. Like remember the
Alien
old
technology.
computer?
You're supposed to
But
either
now you can
cough
play-
or say redacted.
Just redact
Everything on your cell phone.
alien technology.
Play your video games, everything.
I did both. Okay. All right.
That's not how that works. That's not how any of that works.
I don't know how it works, man. It's alien.
It's either alien technology or you go alien technology, redacted. Redacted. You went redacted alien technology, and then you also went
it
alien
has
technology. That's not.
It has been redacted.
Dude, he just cracked himself up right there. I had nothing to do with that shit. That is all. That's his first beer still.
Because I realize how much I'm annoying you right now.
That is bringing him so much joy. Do you see those tears?
I don't know.
Joy.
But this is, dude, we've been at this for over 30 years. If you haven't annoyed me yet, I don't think it's going to happen.
Oh, it's happened.
No.
It's already been broke. Oh. All right, settle down.
No, you've never truly, honestly, ever annoyed me. Where I'm just like looking at you, I'm just like, Jesus fuck, I'm annoyed right now.
I hate you as a person right now.
No.
No.
But I'm also not a hater.
Oh.
You know?
Misguided soul.
It's,
Who am I to judge? That's the way I feel.
I mean, on the weekends, me, but that's, I mean, I got paid for it, so it's,
You know,
never mind.
8.5. Like,
The Germans give it a 4. What? Why am I on the Germans? I want to be judging for the Germans. I don't get this.
yeah, bull.
I have a tattoo about judgment, so
Oh, is that you? I thought you were gonna be like, I have a tattoo about Germans. I'd be like, whoa.
no.
I don't think that's
anymore.
It's not the right time or place for any of that. Honestly,
I'd rather keep a certain image of you in my head. That's not it.
that is it. That is
That is
fact.
not it.
Hard pass.
Can we just kind of gloss right over that?
I don't know, how about we never come back to this ever again? We just keep going. Matter of fact, never show this again.
These are not the droids.
You're looking for
Those droids.
those droids. They're not.
Which
those.
droids? I don't know because we're not looking for them.
So wait, you're not looking for droids. You're not looking for those droids.
We're not looking for those droids.
Because I mean, what you had said was, bro, were you like tailgating before I got here? Were you like out in the parking lot, just like pounding down? Because like literally, that's a 5%er. You're probably only halfway through, and it's like
No, it's
you're
all-
trying not to pee yourself while you
all-
cry laughing.
It's all your fault. That's
Did I do that?
you're making me laugh. Oh,
How am I funny?
funny how? What am I, a clown?
What, I'm here for your amusement?
I make you laugh.
Bro, it's just funny. It's funny, haha. I don't know why. It just is.
He called his shit poop. Is that what? Is this where we're at? Is that? Because I kind of felt like that because we started with like nostalgic 80s TV commercials of some sort, didn't we? Weird shit like that.
And now back to Adam Sandler, of course, because it always comes back to Adam Sandler.
Where did Adam Sandler come from?
He called the shit poop.
Oh, well, there's that. No,
Doesn't it
wasn't
always, is there like 6 degrees of Adam Sandler?
that's Kevin Bacon.
Well, I know that too,
I was
obviously.
gonna say, you know, his Pause foundation, I guess is a better word, is called 6 Degrees.
Kevin Bacon?
Mm-hmm.
He has a 6 degrees foundation.
Mm-hmm.
He is 6 degree.
6degrees.com. They help out. I saw them do this thing where they did, they gave out necessities to people that needed them, like bags of necessities and stuff. They made like an assembly line and put together. It was for his foundation. They find people to give it to. It's a good cause.
Why do you keep looking at me like that? You know, soap, toothpaste,
But it's just the irony is like you 6
Shampoo.
degrees of
conditioner.
separation, and then you think 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, and then his foundation is literally called 6 degrees.
I mean, calling it 6 degrees is kind of funny.
You're kind of funny.
No, I am funny.
You're kind of funny.
No, I'm funny. I'm funny. I am.
You're kind of funny.
I'm funny.
Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, I'm funny. You're right. We'll leave it there. Just right there. I'm funny.
Right there. Oh, bro.
They saw that, you know.
I know.
Sorry about that.
What is this? They saw that. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, and there's multiple angles on it now, too.
Dude, the full on Beavis and Butthead. I mean,
That would be...
yeah.
You know, you did... Just saying.
Just saying. Just saying.
Yeah. No. Still up
saying.
here.
Not gonna lie, I saw Chrissy Teigen motorboat Fluffy earlier this evening.
The
Yes,
Fluffy?
I said that correct. The Fluffy, yes.
Like,
On lip sync battles.
I love cake Fluffy.
I'm not sure. I hear words, but I don't.
Gabriel
He was
Iglesias.
dressed up as Donna Summers, and he had very large, voluptuous chest, and Chrissy Teigen went in for it and motorboated the hell out of him.
She's a motorboating son of a bitch.
That will happen.
Who knew?
I mean,
An animal drive, you know.
I'm not made of stone, you know.
Sometimes you just can't help yourself. An opportunity presents itself, and you know.
I mean, I am all for getting, you know, yeah, go big or go home. You know? Yeah.
I'm all for a.
Did they bill for speed?
or comfort, yeah.
You motorboating son of a bitch, you old sailor, you.
Both.
What were they like? I mean, were they?
Well, speaking of motorboating,
I didn't say anything about motorboating. I don't know where this came from. What kind of place is this?
older woman made you touch her cans. Why?
I do love me some Vince Vaughn, man.
Vince Vaughn,
He gets me. He really does.
I wish I could quote the full, but because he just, that's what makes it so. Every time I watch it, I'm just amazed.
Well, yeah, because I mean, think about it. He's being all selfish about the fact that he had to fill up a really hot older chick's breasts, and he's like, "Dude, I got a stage 5, clinger over here throwing some shit at me. And I'm fucking, sucking it up for you. You're bitching about filling up these. Really great, thanks, dick. Yeah,
At least I
selfish
can
as
get
fuck.
something out of it. Yeah, were they built for speed or comfort? Come on, tell me.
Yeah, dude. I mean, come on, dude. At that point, you gotta, dude, your bro's taking one for the team. Shit, at that point, it's like 3 or 4. Mind you, they did get married later. They're a cute couple.
Oh,
But still, yeah. No, he was being selfish as shit. If you came to me and said that same shit, probably would have slapped you. Be honest. That's how upset I'd be.
making that De Niro face.
Be like, get your shit together. How dare you? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I'd Bobby D the fuck out of you. Be Bobby D deep in you.
You think that's funny?
Yeah.
How's this for funny?
Your mother
Yeah.
so.
She sold this. Delish.
Only came here for 2 things. Beer's all gone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Beer is totally gone.
Dude, you're like that. You just ruined all of that. I thought that was going to be like the most indignant thing in the world, and you made me laugh at you instead. I now feel sorry for you, really, is what's going on here.
What? Why? What?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying to myself right now.
I don't know if I like you right now.
Yeah, you don't have to. Just got to put up with me.
No, I don't.
You don't have a choice.
always have a choice.
You have 3 choices.
She said 3 things.
No,
Stop,
seriously.
no, and don't.
No, you got that wrong. They always tell me, no, don't stop. Fucking Red Man gets me, man. I love that dude. But yeah, no, for real, we were talking about this. There is 3 choices in everything you do. Doesn't matter what it is. You get 3 choices.
Should I stay or should I go now?
But that's actually like 2.
Right.
Yeah.
Or do nothing.
But if I stay, there will be trouble.
So you can either deal with shit as is, just put up with it and be like, well, I'm here. This is what it is. All right, cool. Or you can try to change it, right? You can see it for what it is and be like, hey, it should be like this. Let's see if we can have that happen. Or you can just straight up be like, deuces. I'm out. I don't have to be a part of this.
In everything in life.
Everything.
Technically speaking, yeah.
And think about it. You can take it to the extreme. Somebody puts a gun to your head. I'm about to kill you. You can either accept it, just be like, man, he's going to fucking shoot me. Or you can be like, well, I'm going to try to talk him out of shooting me. Or you can just be like, fuck it. I don't give a shit. Shoot me or not. I'm still me. I'm going to do me. I'm going to be over here doing me. It doesn't fucking matter. You can literally walk away from that shit. I mean, maybe not physically, but in an emotional position. You just be like, I got no parts of this.
Spiritually.
Yeah, you do whatever the fuck you want. I don't
It brings
care.
up an interesting question, though. Like, kind of reaction you get from somebody who's trying to do you harm or steal from you. But by having an expression of unconditional love, what does that do to a would-be?
Like, give me all of your possessions. And you can just be like, bro,
I forgive you, man.
it's not your fault.
I've watched some
Shut up,
documentaries
man.
on crime,
Shut up.
and
It's not your fault.
Shut up. Stop saying that.
yeah, and then the victims will say like, "Oh, well, I started praying, or told him God loved him, or I told him that I loved him, or his mother loved him, or something." But it's like makes you think hurt people. So whatever they're going through, they could just need either a connection, love, attention, affection. It could be something that they're lacking. So when you show them that, they're just like, what the hell is happening?
One of the things my dad used to remind me of is he's like, not that there's not a lot of evil in the world. Of course there is, but
Not in my world.
nobody thinks they're the bad guy. And I thought about that and I was like, that's some deep shit.
Most will never think they're the bad guy. They'll always want to play the victim.
Justify somehow.
Yeah, they rationalize
their
that.
actions.
Yeah, whether it's I'm actually the victim or there's like, well, I was forced into it, or well,
like-
you have to understand is, yeah, man.
Or like a serial killer who's actually expressing that their dislike for the way that the average person is, and haven't been accepted throughout their childhood or whatever. Like, but it's all an expression of hurt.
Well, it's
Right?
usually
It's an
why we
expression of hurt love.
that's what we would say is projecting. Is that's what was put onto us, so we put it onto someone else.
well, because that's all you know.
Well, that's why I always love the idea of take nothing personal, make nothing personal. Like, you know what I mean? I ain't trying to project my shit, and I'm not trying to have you project your shit on me. Like, your shit's your shit, my shit's my shit. We can be cool like that.
One of the other ones, wait, it wasn't one of those, but was it? No, never put anybody on a pedestal. Always look at everybody, no matter what their position in life,
We're all equals.
as being equal.
Yeah.
Because, and it's funny because if you put yourself in that frame of mind when you meet new people, like, it's easier to be accepting because it doesn't have to be this weird give and take. It just, like, you do this and I do that, and like, who cares?
You can just give and be done with it.
And just see each other for what you really are and just move on. But
Yeah, man.
it's so easy to get caught up.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, going back to like what you were saying, dude, I find myself in situations where, I'm going over my day, retrospect, trying to find ways to grow from things. I'm now in a position where I'm more apt to say, what could I have done better? Like I instead of trying to place blame on anybody,
Something external. Yeah.
it's more of I put it on me of what could I have done. So instead of blaming myself saying I did this, I ask myself, what is it that I could have done to have been a better me, to be a truer potential of what I'm supposed to be in this world. You know, how is it I could have been impeccable in
turn
this?
it from like, it's not a punishment, it's a point of focus. It's like, okay, well
Yeah, I'm not trying to blame anybody, including myself.
It's not a bad thing or it's not a good thing. It's just, let's put some freaking grease on the wheel.
More or less.
You know, like,
or replace the wheel, because it's, you know, it's like, oh, it's not just, it don't need grease, it's the wheel's bad. All right, well, fix the fucking wheel and we good.
Right, man. Right.
That's what I said. So I do my best to, because before it was, I would place blame, and I even, coming off of blaming others, blamed myself instead. And it's like, dude, I can't blame. You know, to blame is to put that negative idea on it. It's to put that little bit of just like, oh, you're at fault.
Let's not talk about who did what.
Right.
No, that's a good point, though.
So instead,
how do we wait? Regardless, it happened. How do we move forward?
Exactly.
You know, and I think that's a much better way to think about it. And that's kind of the way that you were expressing that. It's like, okay, maybe I stumbled today, but I'm going to look at this objectively and realize that, you know, this, and this just need to be in more alignment right now, and that everything's going to be a little bit.
Well, yeah. And I mean, and it's not just to find a lesson in it. It's also to acknowledge and find gratitude for the things that I did like and would like to do more of. You know, cognitive behavioral therapy is see the positives and positively reinforce that. See the things that it's like, all right, I did do this well, cool, let's keep going. I could have done this better. Awesome, I'm going to do that and keep going.
I mean, do you keep that spirit around you all the time? Where basically, like, you're in the midst of making a decision and you go, well, would so-and-so, how would they feel about if they saw me doing this? Whatever, you know, said action is. But I'm just saying, you know,
I mean,
like, do you travel with a thought like that?
I would say when I get into a difficult experience that I wish to truly learn a lesson from, I'm more prone to attempt to see it from somebody else's perspective. Again, going back to the point of, I'm not looking to place blame, but find places where things could have been done differently that would have promoted a more beneficial or a truer nature of potential, where it's like where we all have the opportunity to reach what is, you know, our best ability of what we're doing here, you know? So yeah, I mean, I would have in the back in the day, yeah, I would have been quick to, like, you know, like I said, just even place the blame on myself in a sense. But yeah, it's more about learning a lesson. It's more about seeing things for what they are and accepting them. Which, you know, I think really
right, and none of that sounds like the word blame.
To me, it goes more to that being impeccable, just seeing things for what they are. It's, you know, it's not my fault that this is a spade, and I'm not labeling it as a spade. It just, that's what everyone else knows it as. So I have to utilize that to signify something I'm expressing. That's being impeccable. You know, it's like, hey, this is what most of us are going to understand this thing as is, and here it is. All right, cool.
What was it at the end of the day? It's like, you know, I didn't kill anybody. I didn't really hurt anybody that bad, but I could have done better. And at the end of the day, you go, today was today. I'm only human. I move on. I mean, that's what I would think, that okay, I can learn from this, but the last thing you really want to get in the habit of doing is chastising yourself for something it's already done. You know, okay, how can we move forward? But this has already happened. We can't change this.
Yeah.
So 5 seconds ago. Like, I don't.
Yeah. I mean, I've been getting into a more consistent habit of just being a part of the flow, you know, be like the water, like Bruce Lee shit.
It's more than that though, because
that's, you negate.
You're acting as if anything that somebody tries to throw your way that's negative, you're basically, you don't see it. Like, you refuse to see it.
I would say,
can that be bad too?
I would say I prefer to see the lesson or the benefit of what we're doing.
Right. I'm not just going to sit here and flog myself for no point.
Yeah,
Like I'd rather, okay, I can see that there's an issue here. I make an adjustment and I move on.
That's what I said earlier is you can come at me with like mad static and be like all, whatever about shit. And I'm just going to be like, So it's not that I don't see it. It's not that I bear witness to it. I choose to be a part of a different flow.
Or what did I do to call this on myself? Are there things that I have done that led to this possible outcome?
This is
like how many people can do that? Like, and there's been a few moments in my life where some people might have crumbled, and it was a weird thing where, like, in the middle of whatever it is that's going on, whether and not that I was a troublemaker, but like, being arrested or severe injury, where like suddenly you're completely calm and clear-headed, and I cannot for the life of me figure this out. I mean, if I was a truly only dyed-in-the-wool religious person, I would say something like, Jesus took the wheel kind of thing. But I don't know.
The image I had in my head, like literally dude in a white toga shit behind the wheel with like a joint in his mouth. It's like, peace, love, brother. And just like kept on cruising.
Jesus a hippie?
I mean, yeah.
I don't know. Define hippie.
Jesus.
Dude, it's a catch-22. You can't. All right. Well.
Dude, peace, love, harmony, Birkenstocks, minimalism. How is Jesus not a hippie? Come on.
As long as it doesn't border into socialism, we're fine.
I mean, socialism on paper works really well. So does communism, honestly.
Yeah, well, you can make
but so does capitalism, and
you can make an airplane out of paper too. And I'm not going to ride on that.
I can make a brooch, pterodactyl.
Dude, I'm going to be myself.
Well, man, I got to throw some airplane in there.
Oh, it's perfect timing. I don't know what happened.
Excuse me, stewardess. I speak jive.
Minus one aspect. It kind of does. Sorry.
I thought she was going to try to pronounce some shit. Jesus. So wait, say that again?
It says kind of almost describe Jesus minus the drugs. So it says hippie. A person of unconventional appearance, typically having long hair, associated with subculture involving a rejection of conventional values and taking hallucinogenic drugs.
I mean, I feel like Jesus was the hallucinogenic drug.
Was that? Oh, that was required to be defined hippie. Okay. That's okay. No, yeah, no, it makes sense. It makes sense. It was the sexual revolution and all the LSD,
nowhere in that
mushrooms.
Definition was there anything about sex. No, you and I are going to have to talk about this later.
The hippie movement of the
hippies move?
60s? What? All right. Well, on that note, maybe...
all right, fine. Be like that, fucker.
Because the conversation just keeps going anyway. You just don't see it all.
It is in the comments. Your camera's over here.
What should I do with my hands? What are you doing?
I'm fingering your comments.
Get out.
Don't worry, they liked it.
Get out of my lens.
Get out of my lens. I can't do that, sir. I'm sorry. That's not allowed here. I'm
required to be here.
I'm required. No, that's... I don't... They don't pay me enough for this.
Same bad time. Same bad channel.
Not really, because we don't have a consistent... same bad channel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad time. Well, it's that time.
It's always that time.
It is time to go now.
It is.
Mac.
So.
Global warming. But yeah, you at home, we appreciate you. We love you. Do for real. Hit us in the comments. We love continuing the conversation. That's the whole point of doing this. It's not just us, being a bunch of jackasses waxing symposiums. Symposiums. You got to say it like that.
I'm going to lose it. I got to go.
Yeah. You never had it. Sorry, that was
Bro.
that was
All right. No,
uncalled
that's cool.
for.
That's cool.
I do apologize. That was. But you at home, thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate you. Yeah, but
Love you, Danger Mouse.
whether it's continuing the conversation or just giving us something that we have talked about or would like us to talk about, hit us in the comments. For real, for real. Yeah, clickety clack your own shit down in there, please. Appreciate that.
Look, books.
Look, books. I also got movies.
So, movies over there, books over here. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Actually, movies in the middle.
There's also movies in the middle, which,
Monkey in the middle.
no.
Moni in the middle. Where's she at?
Moni.
Anyway.
Malcolm.
Malcolm in the middle.
How many middles are there?
There's.
All the middles.
We really have to go now.
Just running.
It's we're going the distance.
Another Patel.
We're going for speed.
And your mom.
Right. Oh, right there too.
Yeah, there goes your mom again. We appreciate you at home.
I don't know who this guy is. He just came out of nowhere and
You just
walked on
cupped
set.
somebody.
I was.
You just cupped his cousin.
I'm gonna pee myself.
But yeah, fam, thanks for stopping
Lovely
by
credits.
and checking us out. You know what? Honestly,
Comment.
hey, we should start a new thing. If you want to see your names in the credits, hit us in the comments.
Give us any old name, whatever you want.
No, I mean for real. If you want to be in the credits, got to be in our comments.
But whatever name you want. I don't care what.
Well, I mean, yeah, put that in the comments.
Naughty Grimace,
We'll start a whole conversation about being in the credits in the comments.
Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Jingleheimer.
Yeah,
Schmidt.
that's my name too. It's all good.
Howdy doody.
That's enough about duties. But fam, we do appreciate you. And as always, be good to yourself. Be good to everything else.
Much love.
Peace.
Peace.
Ear button, eh?
Hey,
I hit my button first.
I really gotta pee.